It's become a growth industry for homeowners looking to save money on their electric bills. But as WGN Investigates has found, when it comes to the popularity of solar panels, the movement is leaving some feeling burned by promises that never saw the light of day.
Really huge potential for financial savings. And again, if you're an environmentalist or care about reducing your carbon footprint, that's also a really big pro to going solar.
That pitch struck a chord with a music director at a North Suburban church. Mike Ward and his family have lived in their Arlington Heights home for a few years.
When we bought the house back in 2019, we did some remodeling work and put in new windows and energy efficient appliances.
The idea of going solar sounded appealing.
So I wanted to do my part to help the environment. If I could save money on top of that, that was an added bonus.
Mike had come across a social media ad that intrigued him.
Spent a lot of time researching it. Came across this company, Smart Money Solar, who I took some sales presentations with over the course of about 6 to 8 months. They had been advertising a new way to do it, a more cost-effective way that pays you to go solar.
The tipping point was that the panels would be his own, not leased.
I took several presentations over the course of many months, and everything down to the penny was consistent. And I took a chance that, hey, maybe this is a guy that's found a way to make the money work for you, make it affordable, and I'd be a fool not to give it a try.
Mike's problem wasn't that the solar panels weren't installed, it's how they were put in and how much he has to pay for them now. After signing the contract with the installer, Titan Solar, the company put in multiple panels. After months-long delays and failed inspections, the job was done. Titan promised help getting credits from the state and federal government and the sales company, so Mike's out-of-pocket costs would be manageable. Then, in June, out of the blue, Mike learned Titan ceased operations, citing bankruptcy. How'd you find that out?
Social media.
You didn't get a call, you didn't get a letter.
Nope, social media.
You're on the hook for how much money?
A loan for $53,200 that is going to be paid out at an 11.9 interest rate over the next 20 years.
So $53,000 when you thought you were going to have to only pay $2,000 or $3,000.
Exactly.
Silence followed. Mike filed complaints with the Better Business Bureau and the Illinois Attorney General. Later, he discovered a Facebook page dedicated to people scammed by a variety of solar companies. Homeowners in many states left high and dry, and for those locked into a contract, a cottage legal industry arose.
This is playing out all over the country.
Texas attorney Neil Prevost specializes in helping clients stuck with bad solar contracts, especially with the closure of Titan. He says sellers often exaggerate the savings and the lenders charge exorbitant fees and rates, preying most often on those on fixed incomes.
We think probably 30 to 40% of everybody's really unhappy. That's the gist of what we're trying to do, is to do individual arbitrations and get these people some recompense for all of these problems.
The Illinois Power Agency administers the Illinois Shines Grant Program and says most solar projects go according to plan and do save money. But by the end of August, out of 14,000 applications, there were almost 800 complaints, 121 against Titan Solar.
I would say we don't always use the word scams, but bad deals. So there are companies out there who are charging a lot more than they should be for solar. There are companies that are using really high pressure sales tactics, trying to get people to sign a contract at the door.
Marina Minich is the solar programs coordinator for the Citizens Utility Board, an organization that advocates for utility ratepayers. Her advice is the same as Prevost. Avoid the pressure sales tactic. Get multiple quotes, negotiate a price, seek references and reviews, and use a local lender.
That's a really frustrating situation, and even though we try to talk about smart shopping, things like that, it's never the customer's fault if they end up in a situation like this.
So as Mike considers his options, including litigation, he hopes others hear his advice.
I think I would have trusted that too good to be true adage. If it is too good to be true, maybe don't take the bait.
We tried to get in touch with Titan Solar. The bankrupt company doesn't appear to have any working numbers. The Illinois Power Agency, meantime, is developing a solar restitution program for customers who don't get their incentive payments as promised. It's important to point out when things go right, the Citizens Utility Board says in Illinois it takes 5 to 8 years to get a return on your investment. If you're interested in learning more, including community solar, an option for people who can't install panels, we have a pair of links on our website. Just click on this story. And I just got word from Mike that his panels just failed. So now he has to sort that out. But on the plus side, he did get $9,000 from the Illinois Shines program. So he's got his work still cut out for him.
Yeah, poor fella.